But it's a truck spraying water, and it's going over a bridge.
Vehicles being repurposed to a different purpose from the one they're intended for. This vehicle here, the Ferret, was designed in the late 1940s to replace the existing Scout car called the Daimler Dingo, and it's absolutely perfect for what it does. It is small, it is fast, it's fast enough to avoid combat, for instance. It's capable of doing 55 miles an hour. And you'll notice its main weapon, if you will, is not that little 7.62mm general purpose machine gun, which is really there for the moral support of the crew. The commander looks not happy sitting behind it. It's the antenna coming out there. Now, for those of you who want to learn a fact today, what's the difference between an aerial and an antenna? An aerial can only pick up, an antenna can pick up and send. And the idea is that the Ferret here is as close as he can to the enemy, works out what is important, and then sends that back to the Armed Force Command. It dates back from 1964, and I think you'll agree, if you look at it, it looks a lot more modern than that. Right? It's still a very, very capable machine, which is why the Germans sent a load of them to Ukraine, and it's why the Ukrainians quite like them. They're doing a good job out there dealing with Russian armour, some of which admittedly is like the same kind of vintage. When you design an armoured vehicle, there's a kind of formula you must adhere to. Firepower, protection, mobility. You can't have everything. If you want a thumping big cannon on your tank, it needs a big turret, that makes it heavy and it makes it slow. If you want protection, you rack up the armour protection, that makes it heavy and it makes it slow. The Germans, who have been building bigger and bigger and bigger vehicles towards the end of World War II, completely rejected that concept and went for a much lighter, much quicker vehicle here in the Leopard 1. Now the Leopard here weighs 40 tons. That's a good 20 tons or more less than the weight of its British equivalent, the Chieftain. The maximum armour on here is only 70 millimetres. Now that is less than the German tanks that were being built at the end of World War II. The thinking here is you've got a nimble vehicle, you can get out of trouble if you need to, but equally you've got a very, very good weapon on there. That is the British built L7 105mm gun. It was so good that it was put on this vehicle, as well as the British Centurion. It was put on the Israeli Merkava 1, and, believe it or not, it's at Northampton, was put on an American vehicle, the M1A1 Abrams. First of all, had the American-built version of that gun. So a very, very competent vehicle. Looking at the tracks, for instance, if you look at it, you can swap one of the wheels there, and the track system is sprocketed, it's toothed. That's the only driven wheel there. All the others are, if you like, slave wheels, if you like, they're dragged around by the track, which is moved by that sprocket wheel. The idea of the track is it spreads the weight. That 40 tons there is spread out in such a way that its ground pressure is not a lot more than the ground pressure that I am exerting on the arena here per square centimetre. It's a bit more, admittedly, but it's not a lot more. But that allows this tank to deal with soft ground, with broken ground, and again, that weight becomes very, very significant. It was interesting. I noted listening carefully. She has been out to set off car alarms in the car park. Now, people often ask, have tanks had their day? All I can say is seize the artillery base down at Longworth. They're getting some firing on us. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, the British Army would deal with this kind of incursion, but as it is, we've got deployments to the Baltics, we've got deployments out to the Middle East. It looks as if we're going to have to deal with this ourselves. It looks as if the Biden volunteers are going to earn their king shilling today. Now, our forces dispersed, but it's vital that we get eyes on that bazooka man. He is the real problem. He was the real problem. We've got another problem now, ladies and gentlemen. We're retaining our armour. My goodness, there it goes. They've got a Desert Warrior, which is particularly cheeky because it's a British design, based on the Warrior infantry fighting vehicle that replaced the old 432 back in the day. Ah, where's that Union? You're not going to... For goodness sake, they've dropped the Union flag and they're flying their Mauritanian flag up there like that. Now, we've got a bit of a problem here, ladies and gentlemen. That bazooka man is dangerous. Well, he's dangerous to the Ferret, he's dangerous to the 432, he's even dangerous to the Leopard, but this Warrior coming in is mounting an American-built turret. Here he comes. Stop all that nonsense. Give him that boom, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Down with the Mauritanians. Down with the Mauritanians. That turret is mounting a Bushman 25mm chain gun. And it's got two settings. 100 rounds a minute and 200 rounds a minute. 200 rounds a minute at 25mm, that's serious. That could even damage the Leopard. So, what we got? We're setting out some wrecking here. The Ferret is going to get eyes on that bazooka man, we suspect. He may have to use his speed to avoid being hit. The Sardines coming to back him up. And you'll notice in the far distance there, the 432 has stopped and the rifles are debussing. Here they come. Now if I were there, I'd try and get... My goodness, I got a shot in at the Saladin. The Saladin's been hit. Ah, right. We've now got the water in play. We're getting some fire down. Keep that bazooka man's head down. Come on, guys. This man in that position. Here it goes again. There we are. Right, it's imperative they keep him pinned until the Leopard gets into a firing position. Here comes the Leopard. Whoa! Hello, we've hit a fuel dump. Right, now then, let's see who's going to win this. Got him! Well done. Good cheers, the Leopard. There we go, one shot, one hit. And there we are, the Mauritanian is surrendering. He's waving a surrender flag. He's not a surrender flag, is he? He's waving his long underwear, stretching manage. be honest, routine, it's not particularly clean looking. Now, the rifles are moving up. Now then, the bazooka man has got a medium machine gun in operation. Sounds to me like a Browning 30 cal. Watch yourself, guys. Now, the rifles are coming forward in bounds, each one covering the next. You don't want to be running. God save the king! I never thought I'd need to say that. God save the king! There we go. We've recaptured Mount Bonington. Rotated armour has surrendered. The bazooka man is in custody. He's going to be marched into the 432. And the Saladin is coming to back up. He's going to bring that, probably with a high explosive on the smoke, bring that 76mm into play. Quite heavily armoured from armoured cars, so luckily that was obviously just a glancing blast.
আশি মাস তো গেছে trenches and open and petrol. Yes. Supply truck.
Because was ausgebaut. Dort ist Brillen, was ist